Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Well, so is my furry co-host, Alieska. I don't know why a year and a half into the channel, she insists on being a daily part of things now, but I appreciate your patience because I hate to tell her no. So as long as she moves in time for us to look at the tarot cards, I'm happy, and I hope you are too. Well, today I want to take a look at activity that's being reported in South America, specifically Peru. And there are villagers in the Alto Nane region who are claiming to have been battling ET, 7-foot ETs for weeks. And let's take a look at the situation. It looks like there's an official explanation, but that doesn't mean it's the correct one. So let's take a look at the elements I was able to find. This is by no means comprehensive. And if you really want to go down a fascinating rabbit trail, just do a search for ETs in Peru. They've got mummified remains and multiple sightings and just a lot. It would take documentaries to cover this. So don't think that I've covered it well. I just want to show you, kind of set things up for our tarot read to see what we can find out using the tarot cards. Okay, I'm going to switch to a share screen. As usual, this compilation will be available to you if you click on the Facebook link in the video description box. If you don't care to do that, you could possibly pay close attention to the sources I found or do a little sleuthing of your own, because I really didn't go anywhere obscure to find this information. All right, let's switch the screen here and see what I've got to share with you, and we'll set things up and see how we're going to go about finding some information. Okay, this is from 2018. I'm going to try to be well, I always try to be very honest and candid with you. This is an enhanced photo from 2018 of a sighting in Peru. And this is a picture of an example of what the official explanation is. The villagers and the world at large are being told to stand down. There's illegal gold miners using jetpacks to access remote regions. Okay. All right. Now, I want to be really clear here. The Daily Mail has an article telling us that official narrative, and it has some background information. Okay. Then I included the footage that's just a few seconds long, and I did try to make you understand it's from 2018 and it's enhanced, but it has never been debunked, the Peru sighting that's indicated here. Okay. Then at jpost.com, okay, they have an article. Please understand that this is just an artist's imagining. It's not based on like witness descriptions or anything like that here, but that article was pretty good on JPost. Now, I want to be really clear. There's a video circulating showing a face peeling victim. It does seem to be genuine. It's graphic, but it's footage that is several months old. It is not related to the incident in this Peruvian village with the Ikitu tribe. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. It wasn't intentional. Okay, and since it's graphic, I'm not going to include it in my compilation. You can find it if you do a search about face peelers, okay? And if you have a strong stomach. All right, now, there is on Twitter, there was a certain individual that says they question the official narrative. And there's a third possibility that there is military activity happening in that area, and they are trying to scare the villagers into either leaving or taking shelter and not observing some maneuvers and deployments that are happening in that region. So that's a third possibility. Illegal miners, okay, military exercises, ETs, or some combination of the above. Now, this article from hitc.com does talk about face peelers. Okay, the villagers contend it is a problem. There's a 15-year-old girl who apparently survived a kidnapping attempt, and she has cuts on her neck. She reported that she was in ET hands. Of course, it's a very traumatic situation, and that she escaped before they could finish do that peeling on her. Now, if you're not really strong on your geography, Peru's in South America on the western, see, here's the Pacific Ocean. And this region here, this is interesting. The Alto Nene, where these sightings and the battles with ETs or whoever those individuals are is occurring up here. It is not in the Andes Mountains. It's fairly flat. So it makes me question why they would use jetpacks. Seems like those would be to get into where there's river access. I have trouble believing the jetpack story, but it's plausible, even if it's not, the answer. So I included that. And like I said, for those of us who don't have good world geography under our belt, this will help you kind of know where they're talking about. It is right in this region of Peru. Now, the article that I had that talked about the illegal gold mining did mention it has been a problem for years, and that they have had, I believe, they've broken up over 110 operations, and so it is a huge problem in that region. And it had some really good graphics showing, how the gold riverbeds look from space and stuff. I don't know if that was enhanced or not. But let's ask the universe. Okay, I want to be really specific because this region does have a lot of documented and not debunked ET experience. And I want the universe to know very specifically what we're asking about. So we're going to be asking for insights and information and even a possible explanation about what these specific villagers are reporting and have been reporting for the last couple of weeks about an ET hostile situation that they are dealing with and asking for help with. Okay, so we want insights, information, and even a possible explanation. So we can maybe parse down what of those three, or possibly an unknown element, might be to explain the situation going on in Peru. Regardless, it does seem to be like these villagers are having to battle and fight for their safety, and they deserve our kind thoughts, and maybe we can manifest a positive and the best possible outcome for them in this situation, no matter what it's from. All right, I'm going to try to move a furry cat and switch the camera, and we'll see what the cards have to tell us about the situation that the villagers are experiencing currently and recently in Peru. All right, 1 second. I'm curious to see what the universe wants to tell us about this situation that these villagers are experiencing and trying to report to the world. I'm not saying every official explanation is false. Many of them are. So I'm not discounting it. I just don't buy it simply because it's being put out as the official explanation. I actually trust the tarot cards a lot more to give us accurate information than I do official narratives and mainstream media. And many of you probably feel the same way, or you wouldn't be listening here. Okay, so our situation card. We have the 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, more Pentacles, with the 8 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, what I'll do is tell you the insights I'm getting here and explain why. Now, as I was kind of doing my meditation and prayers, prior to doing the video, I did kind of let the universe know that when I saw Pentacles, I'd be giving a lot of credence to the illegal gold mining story. And with all of these Pentacles showing up for the situation and the clarifier about the situation, it does look like in this case, the official narrative may have some validity to it. I'm not seeing any military cards here to make me think it's a result of military exercises that are going on. I do think, though, there is some hidden information. Okay, now let me show you again why I'm saying that. Again, we've got the Pentacles, which are real asset type of tangible items is usually what they indicate. And gold is definitely tangible. And so we've got the pentacles here showing the situation. Now, in the recent past, we have more pentacles with the 3 pentacles here. And that is a card of agreement and actually, basically a firm foundation. So the gold mining, the illegal gold mining is a well-established industry. Apparently it's very lucrative right now, even more so than drugs. And so that does seem to be quite a bit of the explanation. Without a doubt, though, the villagers are being impacted. Okay, they have been attacked and they are dealing with a lot of struggles on the part of, they'd like the illegal gold miners want them to stay locked down in their houses and afraid to go out. Gee, where have we heard about lockdowns before? Being preferred by dubious and nefarious characters. All right. So their struggles that they're reporting are absolutely real and genuine, no matter what the source is. Okay. They're determined, though. They're very proud and strong people, and they're determined to see this through and have their ancestral home remain their ancestral home. Good for them. Okay. Now, they could benefit from some help, and I hope that they get it. I'm hoping we'll get some further insights here. It would have been nice if this was really wooey and we got a lot of sky cards and the major arcanas and stuff telling us that's what we're dealing with. I do see that there's some hidden information. Okay, there may be these illegal gold miners may be in league with others. And hello, Allie. Time to move. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, move. Thank you. Good girl. Oh, don't shake your foot at me. You'll live. Okay, so the High Priestess shows up when there's information that's really close to being revealed. Okay, that more to the story. Another card showing some determination and strife right here. The wands, we got the two wands cards that definitely show the most determination in the face of odds. Okay, so moving forward, it's going to continue to be a problem. Their determination to keep their people safe and to rid themselves of this element of attack and strife has come to their people is going to remain solid. Let's get a couple more cards and see if we see more to the story. Okay, we got the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, which is kind of nice, shows it's going to resolve nicely. The 5 of Pentacles and the Moon. Oh, okay. Well, let's look here. These cards moving forward get less and less impactful. Okay. These are our strongest insight and advice cards about the near future. These are kind of middling. In these, again, we have a rather tricky character who is trying to get away with what he can. And since I'm getting the nod that the story about the gold miners may actually be accurate, that resonates with me. The celebration card for all generations tells me that in the near future, the villagers will see some more safety and for themselves and their children. Okay. The way they're going to do it, though, they may have to access some less than mainstream help in getting these criminals off their lands and stop them from harming their tribal members. Okay, and there's going to be some loss of life involved before they get to this. Okay, even though this shows kind of as the last, since it shows up as the last, the Moon card, and the Moon card often does talk about a loss of life. Definitely some lies and trickery and loss of life can be indicated by the Moon. It's funny, if you don't read tarot cards, you'd think the Death card would be that, but it's not. It's often the Moon card. Okay, so they're going to have to go to some less than mainstream sources for some help. Maybe there'll be some good-hearted people with a military background that can help them out or what have you. And the loss of life is going to be to some extent with the villagers, but more so with those illegal miners that are trying to poach gold that they have no right to. So let's recap. We did a quick review of some of the situation in Peru with villagers in a remote region who say that they are battling ETs, 7-foot tall ETs, and have been for weeks. These ETs also, they claim, do something called face peeling. And we didn't look at that directly. You're welcome to search that out on your own time if you want to. Anyway, I wanted to find out, there's an official explanation that the villagers are actually battling illegal gold miners who are using jetpacks to get into remote regions. There's a lot of mudflats and what have you there. It's not the Andes portion of Peru. It seemed like to me the jetpacks would not be as effective as other means to get to those remote areas, but who knows? So we asked the universe. There was a third possibility too that's been put forward, that there are military exercises happening in the region, and these incursions are being done to have the villagers stay in their homes and not have them privy to whatever maneuvers or actions are happening in that region. Maybe even possibly to encourage them to vacate it entirely and relocate. So we asked the universe, and the situation showed up. For the situation and the clarifier about it, we got Pentacles, which is a card of tangible assets, real estate, precious metals, things like that. So it's giving us a nod that actually, in this case, believe it or not, the official narrative seems to be fairly accurate. Okay, gotta move a cat here, get to a few more cards. Won't show all of them. You could have watched the video from the start. The villagers aren't going to be moved, and they are determined. This was in the present, and this is the near future. They are determined and will remain determined to remain in their ancestral homes and to fight back and keep their tribal members as safe as possible. Okay, now to do that, they could use a little bit of help. So if you've always wanted to see Peru and you want to fight for the underdog and you've got some mercenary tendencies in your background, hey, don't go to the country that starts with you. Go help those villagers, okay? Now, they're going to, I saw that they're going to have to employ some less than mainstream means to ensure that safety, but it will be successful. We got a celebration card. They will be successful. They're going to have to use less than mainstream. There's going to be some loss of life involved. To some extent, the villagers, more so to those who have been terrorizing them. And can't say that that's a not unreasonable outcome. You know, you play nasty games, you can have nasty outcomes, right? Okay, well, as much as I love the woo, according to the cards, and it's funny because I'm using the cards to find that the mainstream narrative explanation seems to be fairly accurate, actually. That seems a little ironic. Anyway, the situation these villagers are dealing with is serious, and they should be believed. Absolutely should be believed. But I could see how it would be possible with the use of jetpacks and bulletproof materials to pull off something like this, and especially at night, low light situations, what have you. And I until we have the villagers actually kill and send photographic evidence of an ET, I'm inclined to believe what the cards say, and what the mainstream is saying is that these are illegal gold miners. Are those people having to fight? Absolutely. Could they use some help? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not downplaying their situation. I'm not downplaying how they've reported it or anything like that. Okay. They could use some help. Absolutely. But it looks like in this case, and it makes some more sense to me, because if we have ET elements that are able to travel interdimensionally or galactically, I can't see that they would take days and days and days to bring a conflict with people in a remote region to whatever outcome they chose to have happen. It seems like they could do it fairly quickly, okay, and almost surgically when they did. So that's it for this video. As far as Laura's view and Tarot 2 is concerned, the official explanation that Peruvian villagers have actually been dealing with illegal gold miners using jetpacks and maybe some subterfuge to seem more scary than they actually are seems to be actually fairly accurate. But keep those people in your thoughts and prayers, would you? They're the conflict they're living with and the danger they're living with is real, absolutely. And they deserve our thoughts and prayers and, if possible, some help. Until next time, that's it from Laura's View and Tarot 2 and Alyeska also. Bye.